try not to get lost on the path to enlightenment. You know, don't get lost chasing the dragon of enlightenment, because that's what I did. That's what I've done for a very long time now. I chased that dragon of enlightenment for a decent amount of time, like maybe close to a decade. Very, very actively over the past like 7 years. And I think that the answers always just lead back to you and your happiness, and like you finding your happiness without the leaning on any sort of theory. Like all the religions, all the philosophies and spiritualities, the different paths, they always just lead back to you, the person listening to this. Like if you're on the channel, you're probably curious about a lot of things, as I am. So don't let the path of enlightenment restrict you from your higher self. And that almost sounds contradictory, because you think that your higher self will be attained and found by the path of enlightenment. And although it's true, I do think that you can lose touch with your higher self via the illusion of the version of the higher self that you perceive. Like the way, just to put it into perspective, the way that I see my higher self was like ultra monk mode, ultra disciplined, like didn't have any vices, didn't like controlled all my vices, controlled every single one of my like desires, my unhealthy desires, ate clean, vegan, you know, like the idea of doing everything right, like the idea of doing everything right, rather than the actual doing things that just are. You know, like trying to do everything right really leads you down a path of restriction and like non-expression. I'm not saying that now you should go and stab 100 people, but I'm saying that sometimes the path of enlightenment can restrict you from tapping into your most natural and happy self. I found that when I tried to stay up here, being vegan, basically not doing anything fun, I found myself to be in somewhat of a trap, and the desires never completely went away. And one might say that that is a me problem, but I think that we're here to experience life as a being, as a human being. We are here to experience life, and life expresses itself in numerous different ways, numerous different states of consciousness. Like I always thought that like high frequency was like never getting sad and never getting like angry or anything like that. I just boxed all of those natural expressions of human nature into the spectrum and rating scale of like frequency and higher being, and joy and happiness are like at the top of that. And although I still believe that joy is the highest ranking, I still think that to be on that frequency for an infinity would stop you from tapping in and appreciating the rest of the color spectrum. Because like blue isn't there for no reason. Like if you're only going to go into one idea, into one way of thinking, there's no point of just only tapping into magenta. Like you can have your favorite color to be magenta, however there's still all of these other colors that you could appreciate. There's every single other color that you could appreciate, and there's every single other varying degree of emotion. Going back to emotion, I'm using color as a metaphor for emotion, the color spectrum for a direct metaphor for the emotional spectrum. I think that the two go hand in hand. So even if your favourite colour is magenta, even if your favourite colour is joy, is highest being, highest self, highest enlightenment, eudaimonia, don't let that then take away from the brilliance of grief, of the human natural expression of anxiety, the fear of letting go of something or someone. Like, don't allow the idea of enlightenment detach you from the beautiful essence of human nature, of natural human nature expressing itself through life, and through you allowing yourself to experience life, experience relationships, and cultivate communities with people. Like, monk mode can really ostracize you from a lot of life, and I can say within my own self that that's what it has done. And yes, did I accomplish a lot in that time? Yes, I did. You know, I'm so proud of myself for everything that I accomplished in that time. But was I connected to people? Was I connected to a community? I'm a very social person too, so I still had friends. I still had very close friends that I had good conversations with. But there was a whole social side and like fun side that I was neglecting in ode of the pursuit of success, an ode of the pursuit of the literal escape of the physical vessel. Like, that's how far I was going with it. Like, I wanted to escape the physical vessel and live in the astral and be able to like fly and do everything that you do in a lucid dream, constantly. Basically, that's the sort of level of higher self I was chasing, essentially. And I was discussing this with a friend the other day, but I think that is quite a egoic perspective to be able to even try to do that, because you are the one who thinks that they can attain that level of life. Like, you think that you're the being that is doing the things that allow you to lucid dream, when in reality, like, we are consciousness, like we are the energy that it embodies us. We are the life force energy that embodies us, and we just give it names and a personality, and then that personality and a name becomes us as an independent, and that independent then believes itself to be capable of transcending life. But the independent is the life. You're already the life force energy. You're already the expression of the life force energy that you're trying to understand. That's one of the biggest things that I want to communicate, is that you are the life force energy that you're trying to understand. That's why going within and experiencing that world within is one of the greatest things that you can do. And sometimes going monk mode is such a great way to do that, because you do harvest a deeper relationship with your potential and with your idea of what you need to live a good life. You know, your idea of what you need to sustain yourself. Like, you develop a deeper relationship by going monk mode with the internal state of being. And I think that all of these different states, I think they're all so crucial. All of these different pathways, they're also crucial. So although I'm saying don't do this, like, don't go to full monk mode, like, although I'm saying that, like, I'm also speaking to the people who are kind of in that journey and are almost lost in it, as someone who was lost in that I wouldn't even say lost. Like, I feel like every single step was a step ahead in the right direction, but it has led me to the same place as I was before it all. And for me, that feels like a very natural self to being, like the version of myself that does allow himself to have fun and does allow himself to cultivate relationships with lots of people, the social butterfly version of myself that I essentially just disconnected with through the idea of being monk mode, the idea of actually breaking off from what the mass are doing and just figuring out how I could maintain my highest happiness within myself without actually thinking, how do I attain this highest happiness with and aligning with other people who surround me. And that's one thing that I've been awarded the pleasure of being able to cultivate, essentially, when I've moved to London. And what I'm saying specifically with that is like just tapping into community, tapping into a group of people that I can call my friends, and being able to socialize with them and just be with them. Like, I seen this in a video the other day, but like my highest goal in life is to chill with people. Like, the best moments that I've had in my life have been when I've been chilling with people. It's just hanging out with people, like people of every single different kind, like having conversations and getting to know people on a level that is actually quite healing, to be able to connect with someone on a level and for them to see a part of yourself that you might not even know is there. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're on that path, if you're on the monk mode path specifically, sometimes if you're chasing the highest high, you might actually miss out on the lower pleasures, on the rest of the emotional scale. And trying to always stay on a really high level might make you actually not appreciate that high level, because you haven't been back down for such a long time. Like, you've not actually journeyed down for a while. And it also kind of gets you off your pedestal, like the spiritual pedestal that I think people can very easily start walking on, because like, I'm sure I was there. You just naturally see you and your actions to be, well, maybe not you as a whole human being to be better, but like more so like your actions. You see your actions to be better, and then like more intelligent, and like you look around, you're like, how can people just throw their lives away and not take care of themselves? But people are taking care of themselves in different ways. So I want you to do that as well. Like, take care of yourself in a way that isn't like just stretching yourself so thin from any other pleasure in life, because you think that extrapolating every single one of those pleasures out your life is going to be the thing that's going to help you to transcend your consciousness. I think that is actually being able to balance all of your pleasures. Obviously, like, I'm not saying balance your crack addiction, but more so like understand that there is a balance of life, that if you tap into that, you allow yourself to have a bit of fun, you allow yourself to meditate, you understand that you are a being, you understand what it takes to be a high functioning being, you know, like physical health, mental health, your general well-being. If you manage to tap into all of that, you will be on a pathway to understanding the truest of human experiences ever. And understanding that and living it are two different things. I want you to actually go out of your house and live it. You know, go to an event, meet up with some random people, like go up to a random group of people at the park and just say hello. Like, what are you guys saying? Results may vary. Adios. Have a good night.